Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Leslie and today we are being inspired by pattern paper. I got this paper on clearance at JoAnn's and I've just been really inspired by the color combination. So today I'm going to use Mandarin, Sage, Royal, Heather, Simon Says Stamps Positively Saturated Inks, and I'm using this stencil from Concord and Ninth. There's actually two stencils in here. One makes the full background leaves and one makes a circle wreath of leaves. So we're going to be turning those into cards today. This video is really all about using different color combinations that you see in other places that you may not even think about yourself. So for me, with fall, yes, I would maybe use the orange, but I tend to use orange, red, gray, or green, not gray, greens, and like yellows kind of thing. So to bring in the heather and purple and even the sage green instead of a more leafy green, is something a little bit more out of my comfort zone, which I'm trying to do more of. I did start here with the Mandarin. I just am turning my stencil because it's one of those Concord and I turnabout stencils. It's my only one. I really enjoyed using it, so I probably need to purchase some more because it was really fun. And I am just doing a one layer ink blending. I'm not bringing in other colors to like create more depth or anything like that, because since I'm just trying it out and starting out, I figured I'd be easy on myself and just go with the one ink per stencil round. If that makes sense. So I'm just putting on the heather, and I love the moment of the reveal of did I do this right? And then that's me trying to figure out which turn I needed next. I don't have one of the turnabout layers that Concord Ninth does have available for purchase, mostly because I haven't quite gotten enough into their company yet. And since this is my first turnabout stencil, I figured, I can just tape it, right? It would probably be easier if I had that stencil or stencil template, just because you'll see later on with the wreath that I had some struggling of realigning and making sure I had it where it was supposed to, but it's all good. I'm trying it out for the first time. I like to try things out little by little instead of just full on immersion. Mostly because I am on a budget. I do have a couple kids and I'm mostly a stay-at-home mom. And so we gotta make sure I'm keeping my costs where they need to stay. I'm so sorry about how messy my desk is. You can see crayons and random tape and everything. I share quotes on the share my desk sometimes with my 2-year-old, and so those are her crayons that mommy needs to fix because she broke them, and we're trying to find the other half so that I can tape it back together. But I wanted to zoom out so you can see all the the ink blending and the inks and everything, and so you also see my dirty desk. I'm so sorry. You're actually not seeing a whole lot of how bad it is, but it's fine. It's fine. If you see little hands pop through, it's because my 2-year-old wants to help all the time. That's the final color with the royal on this particular setup, and then I clean off my desk and start again. So now I'm gonna do the wreath, and I'm just gonna do the same idea. I'm putting that first piece of tape on the front just so I remember that is the front. On the first stencil, it actually had this way up that was written on the actual stencil. With this one, they don't. So I'm assuming so you could go either direction, but that's for me to remember. I decided to turn my paper instead of my stencil this time, and that was a mistake. Because my stencil doesn't quite stay where it needs to, and so I have to like adjust and realign the paper and everything anyway. So it would have been easier had I just left the paper and just realigned the stencil each time. But trying it out a little bit differently compared to the first stencil just to see what is easiest. Now I know. Turn the stencil, not the paper, because of course then I turned the paper the wrong way and it misaligned it, so then I had to take it completely off my desk and fix it. So that was that little adjustment. Right here I'm using the sage color to keep going. They're really easy to ink blend and they're really easy to clean, which I like. I do use a little bit of my ink removal spray here and there, but in between I'm just taking one of my cloths and wiping off the stencil. So I did go from light colors to dark colors just in case there was a little bit of bleed, but for the most part it stayed really well and clean, and it was really easy to clean off. Using that royal for the last shade, and I really like this color combination, especially for fall. Adding in some blues there, I love blue, so you know, any excuse to add in some blues. And that's the wreath. So I did cut these out and make 3 different cards with them, as you see here. I used some stamps from Jaded Blossom, all kinds of die cuts, and this just kind of gives you an idea of all the different cards you can make with them and what you can do with it. So I did fussy cut that wreath out. So these are my cards, and I hope you have a great day, guys. Hit the bell, give me a thumbs up. See you next time. Bye.